We'll find that Baddha Konasana position. So this will start to work the low back and open the hips. And if you find a better connection with the breath by bringing the hands to the heart and belly, you can move there, or rest the hands by the sides. Take some deep breaths in this Baddha Konasana. Maybe feel the low belly press into the hands. Can you start to relax the low back? Also opening the hips. Let gravity bring the knees closer to your mat. Let your lower body feel soft, feel open. Let your low back feel supported by the mat. Feel the movements of the breath working from the low belly all the way up. But feel that breath in other places. Creating space in the hips. Notice the face, the jaw, the eyebrows, the forehead. If you can find a little bit more relaxation in those areas, start to work towards softening. Take 5 deep breaths, maybe turning into the Ujjayi breath if you haven't moved there. In through the nose, out through the nose. And after your 5th breath, reach the hands overhead for a full body stretch. You can extend the legs too if you like, or keep the feet flat, walking the feet out to the edges of the mat and bringing the knees together. Also a nice variation for the low back. Create some circles with the wrists and the ankles. And we'll create a banana shape with our body. Let's walk the feet over to the right. Cross your left foot on top, and you can bend your elbows. Rest your head in your hands. Allow your shoulders to still feel the mat. Breathe along the left side. Grow a little longer. With your inhale, move through center. And we'll take our feet over to the left side. Cross the right foot on top. Create that banana or crescent moon shape. And create the same length along the right side. Coming back to center, full body stretch. Reach long. And then bring the knees into the chest. Rock along side to side. Continue to feel the low back make contact with the mat. And then find center. Keep the knees bent. We'll extend the feet straight out as if they were kind of hitting a wall. And you'll start to hover the knees, send them over to the right. So working into a little bit of core awareness. And you can come into a twist. Knees over to the right. Maybe you extend the left arm. Maybe you bend for cactus. You can add some support with the right hand on the thighs. And fully relax into your twist. You can let the knees touch the floor. See if you can use the core, bring the knees back into center, keeping the knees bent, almost like a chair pose with the feet. And then start to hover over to the left side. You can take a few breaths in your hover or come straight into your twist. Let the knees relax onto the floor or the mat. Maybe extend the right arm. Using the belly, come back to center. Keep the knees bent and extend the arms out into a T. We'll hover the knees over to the right. Use the abdomen to pull the knees back to center and then over to the left. One more time, coming to the center, moving to the right, nice and slow. And then moving to the left. Meet back in center, hug the knees in, rock side to side. Maybe it would feel good to take a variation by bringing the knees into a circular motion. And if you are making circles with the knees, you can switch directions. And then hug the knees into center, bring the forehead to the knee, wrapping the legs in towards you. And then really start to rock along the spine. We'll take a few rocks, meeting in a seated position. And so from here, take some hip circles. You're welcome to close your eyes or check out the pup on the screen. But just like we did circles with the knees, circles with our hips. And switch your direction. Even though this is called slow flow, feel free to move a little faster, feel free to move a little slower. Coming back into the center, reach your arms up. Take the hands through the heart and then fold forward, walk them out in front of you. You can sway side to side, maybe walk the fingers over to one side and then the other. Add a little bit of flow. Take about 4 more breaths here. After your 4th breath, walk the hands up to meet the shins. Reach the arms up. Take the hands through the heart. Switch the foot. So bring the other foot in front. Return to your fold. Energetically bring the hips towards the back of your mat and the fingertips towards the front. You can round the spine, melt the heart. Maybe move side to side here. Allow yourself at least 4 more breaths. After your 4th breath, walk the hands up, meet back in our seat. And then let's plant the left foot down, cross the right foot over, coming into a seated pigeon, bringing the heart forward. You can create circles with the ankle. And then we'll plant the right foot. You can walk the left foot over a little bit, come into a twist. So left hand behind you, right arm up and over. You can gaze over the left shoulder. Maybe you even hug that right knee towards you, front leg. And then let's reverse. Take the right hand behind you, twist over to your right. Come back to center, plant the right foot, cross the left foot over. Add the circles for the ankle. We'll plant our left foot, come into our twist, twisting over to the left, right hand behind you. Maybe you hug the top leg in or use the left hand for a little leverage. Feel this twist in the back, above the lower back. So think more mid and upper. And then reverse your twist, find the other side. Come back to center. We'll come into table, so all 4s. And take some movement for the wrists, maybe the forearms as well, walking the hands in different directions. When you're ready, working into the shoulders, let's take the hands out to the front of the mat. Bring the chin down or the forehead down for puppy pose, keeping the knees where they are. Feel the length of your spine. Come back up into table. Keep the left hand down, reach the right arm up, and then thread it through, right shoulder down to the mat. Extending the left fingers towards the front, maybe wrapping it at the low back or finding the right hip. When you're ready, left hand under the left shoulder, press into that hand, come back to table. We'll find the other side, reach the left arm up, thread it through, left shoulder down. Options for the right hand, finding what works for your shoulders. How can you open a little bit here? Wherever the right hand is, press it under the right shoulder, come back into table, and then spread the fingertips. We're going to tuck the toes, hover the knees off the mat. Bring the knees back down, let the belly drop, come into your cow pose. And then round, come into your cat pose. Come back to neutral spine, tabletop, press into the hands, hover the knees. Knees down, cow pose. And cat pose. Back to table one more time, hover the knees. Knees down, use your breath, find cow, and find cat. And then take it back into child's pose. Maybe knees together or knees wide apart. Connection here, or set your intention and your connection here for your practice. What's going to carry you through? What's going to carry you through your week? Three more breaths here. Press into the hands and come into downward facing dog. Moving for your body, moving for your neck, your hips, your hamstrings, your shoulders, your calves. And then walk. Well, finding stillness first. Feel free to move as much as you need. We'll walk our feet up to meet our hands at the top of the mat. Meeting in a fold here. Take a fold you like. Maybe it's ragdoll. Maybe it's walking the hands over to one side and then the other. You can bring the weight into your toes. Lengthen the back of the legs. Lengthen the spine. When you're ready, lift up halfway, no rush. And then fold forward. Slowly come all the way up. Take as much time. Bend the knees. Arms can reach up overhead. And then hands to the heart. We'll grab a hold of the left wrist. Reach up and over, leaning to the right. And come to center. Hold on to the right wrist. Lean over to the left. Come back to center. Hands out. Swan dive down. Fold forward. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step it back. You can go to down dog. You can flow, high plank to low plank for your vinyasa. With these choices, how can you work towards your intention? How can you make this practice your own? Take another deep breath in down dog. And then step your feet up a little bit so that the heels touch the mat. Keep the right hand where it is. Cross the left hand to find somewhere along the right side of the foot. Or sorry, right leg. Yeah, coming into a twist in your down dog. Look under the right armpit. And then left hand to the top, right hand, find somewhere along the left leg. Bring the right hand back to the top and then lengthen out through your down dog. Find that traditional stance that works for you. And we'll reach our right leg up. You can bend the knee, open the hip. Maybe extend and bend the leg. Give yourself some freedom. And then extend the right leg straight out, three-legged dog. Bring the knee to the nose, step the foot in between the hands, low lunge, left knee can come down. If you want to take the hands up, really press down through the right pinky toe. Start to open up the inner hip, the hip flexor here on the left. Maybe your hands come together, maybe a back bend feels okay. And then take the hands through the center, bringing the hands to either side of the right foot. Fold over this front leg. And take 3 breaths. Come back to low lunge. Untuck this left knee and untuck the toes, lift the left knee. Reach up, crescent lunge. Here, feel how it feels to stand fully. Maybe the hands come together, lean back. Can come back to a neutral spine, and then you can fold over this front leg if you like. Maybe you step that back foot in a little bit. Coming into a pyramid variation. Drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward. You can shake the neck out. Add the elbows in, maybe holding on behind the back, working into the shoulders. And release the hands, frame that front foot. You can lengthen out the back leg, come back into downward facing dog. Gather your breath in down dog. Reach your left leg up, 3-legged dog. Bend the knee here, add movement. Bending and straightening, Maybe you took circles on that previous side. We'll straighten the left leg back out. Bring the knee towards the nose. Step the foot in between the hands, low lunge. Arms can reach when you're ready. Root down through the right pinky toe. You can stay here working the right hip flexor, or maybe hands to the heart. Work in a little heart opener, back bend. Squeeze the belly button towards the spine if you are in this heart opener. And then bring the hands to the heart, neutral spine. Take the hands, frame the left foot, fold over the left leg. Plant the left foot and take your hands on either side of that front foot, lift the back knee, rise up, crescent. Your choice here. Maybe hands together feels good for the practice. But when you're ready, hands can come down to frame that front foot, step the back foot in a little bit. Coming into a pyramid variation. Maybe you need a little more by holding on to the elbows. It might just feel good to fold over that front leg. Take another deep breath. Plant the hands to frame that front foot, lengthen out through the back foot. Step the front foot to meet the back foot. Your choice to flow, high plank to low plank, or go straight to down dog. And we'll all meet there in downward facing dog. From down dog, reach your right leg up, three-legged dog. Step the foot in between the hands and turn towards the left. Find the left side of your mat, the long edge. You can fold here. Maybe interlace the hands at the low back, reaching them up. You can bend the knees, work side to side. And take 3 more breaths where you are. And then walk the hands out in front of you. Keep the feet where they are, but create a long spine. Another breath. Walk the hands under the shoulders. Start to walk towards the front of your mat. Turn the toes towards the front of the mat. So hopefully we're in this lunge position. And then we'll reach the arms up, crescent. Bring your hands to the heart, twist over to the right. Lean back, open the right hip. You can always let the hands part or keep them close. And then let's come back to center, open it up, warrior 2. Cartwheel the hands open. Let's reverse our warrior. Take the right arm high. Feel the length along the right side. Move back into warrior two. Straighten the front leg, come into triangle. See if you can feel that same length along the right rib cage. Finding space instead of coming down and crunching in. You can bind with that top arm, maybe wrap it around the low back or find the hip. Lean back just as you did in your crescent twist. And feel free to take the bottom hand on the shin, or if you've got a block close by. We'll come back into warrior two. And cartwheel the hands down, frame the front foot. Step the front foot back, down dog. Full breath in, down dog, flow if you like, or stay there. And then we'll reach our left leg up, three-legged dog. Bring that foot in between the hands. And we're gonna turn towards the right side of our mat. Find that long edge. And pick a different variation in this fold, maybe holding on to the big toes. Or you can take opposite arm to opposite foot. Allow yourself a few breaths to hang. When you're ready, we'll take the hands under the shoulders and we'll walk the hands back out, creating that wide-legged down dog stance. Really root down through the hands to feel length in the low back. You should just feel comfort there. Nothing straining or no discomfort, just a lot of space. So feel free to change your shape if that isn't working for you. But we'll start to walk the hands under the shoulders and then turn towards the top of your mat. Rise up, crescent lunge. From here, hands to the heart, twist to your left. You can squeeze the thighs together, bring the belly button towards the left thigh. When you're ready, open it up, warrior two. Move through the center and then spiral open. We'll reverse our warrior, left arm high. Getting ready for our triangle, create as much length along the left. Keep that length as you bring the left hand forward, straighten the left leg, triangle pose. You can take a half bind with the top arm, helping you lean back, or keep that strong arm raised up. You You can start to bend that front leg, come back into warrior two. Cartwheel your hands down, frame the left foot. Option to take a vinyasa, option to go to down dog. Maybe child's pose is just what you need at this moment too. When you're ready, walk your feet up to meet your hands at the top of the mat. Take a fold here. Maybe scoop the hands under the feet for gorilla. At your pace, find your flat back, lift up halfway. And then fold forward. Reach the arms up, come all the way up. Hands to the heart. Rooting down through the right foot, bring the left knee into your chest. Cross the left foot over the right for standing pigeon. Slowly bend the knees, sink the hips. Take this where you like, hands down to the mat. Maybe you're working towards an arm balance. You can always come into a twist as well, bringing the elbow to the foot. A lot easier to do on the floor than in balance, but just a couple options. And then let's take the hands down, frame the foot. You can release that left foot, lift it up for standing splits. And then open the hip if you like. Turn the hip open, almost like three-legged dog where you bend and open. Bring that left foot back down, fold forward. Lift up halfway, create your flat back. Fold once more. And then all the way back up, reach the arms, hands to the heart. Shift the weight in the left foot, right knee moves into the chest. Cross that foot over, standing pigeon on this side. Think chair, shift the weight in your heel on that standing foot. Maybe you want to feel good in the right hip here. So how can you change the shape to meet that intention? Maybe you want to twist. Wherever you are, breathe into the right hip. And you can take the hands down, frame the balancing leg, reach your figure four foot all the way up. Standing splits. Feel free to open the hip here. Add movement. And then take the right foot down, fold forward. Pick a variation in this fold. Maybe it's a traditional one where you're working the hands and the head down towards the mat. And then inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, step the feet back. Your choice to go to down dog, your choice to move through vinyasa. We'll take that right leg high for three-legged dog. Bend the knee, open the hip. Come back to three-legged dog. Bring the foot in between the hands. Come into pigeon. And then this is something that I have learned from another K10 stream teacher, but it's pigeon rolls. So you can take the heart down, roll towards your mat, and then come back up. Just start to feel it in your right hip. Take a few of these. When you're ready, stay in that fold. Forehead down, heart down. Breathe into the right hip. Know that if this isn't a posture that works for you, you can always come onto your back and come into pigeon that way. Or maybe you like to sit upright. Give yourself freedom to make a choice and then change it. If you find you need a little more in your pigeon, you can thread the left hand over to the right and extend the right arm out. Maybe even wrap the right arm around the back, just depending on how open your hip is. Give yourself 5 more breaths. And after that 5th breath, plant the hands. Take a few breaths in your upright pigeon. And then we'll come into downward facing dog. Take some movement for the right hip. You can always come into table for those movements as well. When your body is ready, find downward facing dog. Bring the left foot up, bend the knee, open the hip. Straighten the left leg, bring it through pigeon on the left side. We can take those rolls if that felt good. Almost like a pigeon push-up. When you're ready to settle, bring the forehead down and reconnect with your breath. Give yourself a little bit more time, maybe counting out 5 breaths. After your 5th breath, you can spend a little time in upright pigeon. Maybe you're ready to come out of this, coming into table for the hip circles or downward facing dog. And we'll meet in downward facing dog with both feet down. And then shift forward, come into plank. And take a few breaths, strong arms here, belly button in. And then bend the knees, come back to that hover, that table hover that we started with. Reach up, downward facing dog. Coming forward to plank. One more breath. Bend the knees, hover over the mat. Push it back, down dog. An option to take one more if you like. Maybe holding plank for 3 breaths. Bending the knees, take that hover. One more time, downward facing dog. Maybe you bend the knees liberally in your down dog. You can really lift the hips, bend the knees. Come back through your high plank, but lower all the way down. Come onto your belly. You can cross your arms over one another, maybe rest the forehead. Or you can take the hands by the hips and bring a cheek over to the mat. Just like in down dog, sometimes how you scan the back of your body. How does your body feel here? You've got the support of the mat for the front body. So that might feel soft, but can you feel that same softness in the back, the shoulders, especially the low back? You can bring the other cheek to the mat. Maybe instead of feeling our hands, or the breath press into our hands, can you feel the breath press into your mat? And then take the forehead to the center of the mat. You can cross your hands over one another, resting your head down. And we'll come into a shoulder stretch. So plant the left hand under the shoulder. Extend the right arm straight out. Roll onto the right hip. You can bring this left foot behind you like a kickstand. It might even feel good to lift that left leg up. Take another deep breath. Return back to the belly. Bring the right hand under the right shoulder. Extend the left arm straight out. Roll on the left hip. Creating a kickstand. Maybe floating that right foot. Breathe in deeply here. Come back to center. Take both hands under the shoulders. Push it back into child's pose. Knees together and knees apart. Maybe bringing the hands in prayer, allowing the elbows to press into the mat, and then hands move towards the spine. In your child's pose, maybe work the forehead side to side, press down into your mat. Take 2 breaths. Press into your hands and your knees, moving through cat-cow. Drop the belly, cow. Round the spine, cat. One more cow, one more cat. And then come back into table. You can sit down, extend the feet straight out. Coming into a fold, bring the arms up, reach forward. Draw the toes towards the head. Rock side to side. Allow yourself 3 breaths. After that 3rd breath, walk the hands up. We'll come into Janu Sirsasana, left foot inside the right leg. And then you can reach the left arm up and over, finding anywhere along the right leg. You might play with how you center the top part of your body. Maybe you open it more and feel it in the low back, the left hip, or maybe you square yourself off, folding directly over that extended leg. Give yourself 4 breaths here. Slowly coming back up. We'll take both feet together, Baddha Konasana. You can bring the feet closer to you or farther away. You can sit upright or take this down into a fold. See how the inner thighs, the inner hips feel compared to the beginning. Just with a postural change, what does your body feel like laying down as opposed to sitting upright in this pose? You can work into the neck, move side to side. You may add a little weight with your hands, bringing your fingertips towards the back of the mat and pressing the hands on the thighs. As long as it feels okay on the knees. Give yourself 5 breaths here. Maybe you're folded, maybe you're upright. After your 5th breath, we'll meet sitting upright. And we'll extend the left foot, bring the right foot on the inside. And take the right arm up and towards the left leg. Your choice, maybe open, maybe square off. You're definitely feeling it in the extended leg, but also you can feel it in the low back, in the right hip. Give yourself 4 deep breaths. After your 4th breath, rising up, coming down onto your back. Maybe you return to Baddha Konasana, bringing the feet together, knees out. Maybe you walk the feet to the edges of the mat and bring the knees in. Return to the connection of the body and breath. And we'll start to come into another hip opener. So we'll cross the right foot over the left, stack the knees. You can flex the toes, maybe hold on to the ankles. So setting up for Gomukhasana or cow face. Knees are stacked, feet on opposite sides, flexing your toes, and you can rock along the low back. You can work the ankles towards the hips or extend the ankles away. Hopefully satisfying the request of both hips and low back with this one. And I'll let you hold this for however long you like. One of your hips may be more open, so you might want to spend a little more time. When your body is ready, you'll just bring the other foot on top. Stacking the knees as best as you can. Feet out to the sides, flex the toes. Add the rock if you like for the low back. You may notice that you have to bring the heels closer to the hips on one side. Maybe you have a little more space and can bring the feet out farther from the hips. Again, your choice for the length of hold. But when you're finished, hug your knees into your chest. This time, take happy baby. Knees can come out wide. You can fully rock over to one side or keep one leg bent and extend the other. When you're finished with happy baby, maybe you take a shape with your feet, like coming into Baddha Konasana or coming into waterfall, where the legs are extended straight up. It's like legs up the wall, but your legs are not supported on the wall. And to help release and still add with the softness, let the legs move a little bit. Let them fall to one side. And we can return back with the knees in towards the chest. And then bring the soles of the feet together, knees wide open. Return to where we started. This doesn't feel good for the low back. You can always walk the feet out to the edges with the knees close into each other. Notice how your breath is. You can start to let it go. Trust that the inhales will come. And if you're ready for Shavasana, you can stay here or extend the legs out. Maybe you'd like a twist before you come into some stillness. Gather anything that might make your Shavasana be a little bit sweeter. If you want to give yourself an adjustment in Shavasana, you can always take the knuckles up to the forehead, massage around the temples. You can also take the hands behind, interlace at the neck, and bring the hands from the base of the spine and the base of the head all the way up. kind of elongating, and then maybe release the hands, press the head into the mat, press the shoulders down into the mat. You're also welcome to physically take your hands and press your shoulders down. Surrendering to the work that you've done, know that there's nothing else left to do. Scanning the body, feeling the support of the mat. Start to deepen your breath, slowly waking up the body. Notice the temperature of the space that you're in. Notice the weight of your body on the mat. Tuning into any sounds around you, whether they be familiar or projected ones. Start to add movement. Take yourself out of Shavasana the way that you like and prefer. In a seated position, but moving at your slow pace. And bringing the hands to the heart. Bringing the thumbs into the heart into the hands. Feel your breath. Feel the work that you did with breath and movement. Take that intention with you. Inhale the words, the purpose. Close, taking a breath together. So inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. May we show grace, love, and compassion for the work we've done on the mat. And may we find our breath off the mat. The light in me honors the light in you. Thank you for sharing in this practice. Namaste. Thank you guys. Hopefully your lower back and hips feel a lot better.